Mars is transiting direct through the sign of Virgo, the Virgin, during October. And that's affecting your 6th house of discipline, daily health regimens, those types of things. Also, during October, the planet Uranus, which is a ruler of Aquarius, is traveling retrograde through your sign, Aries. And that's, of course, then going to affect your 1st house of yourself and appearances. And it's traveling retrograde. So just keep that in mind. And we'll go over that through this transmission. Now, let's see how your ruling planet of Mars is going to affect you this month, Aries. I'm Pastor Rosemary, Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your mighty guardian angel, Michael, who resides over your teaching angel, who is Melchidael, who rules over your cardinal fire nature. And these are his messages for you in love, money, and health. First, the love transmission. You're going to want to make your best self presented to others in your most fit and disciplined manner possible this month. You're going to want your lovers to see you and think of you as being someone who has their act together. So you're going to want to put your best face forward. You're going to want to present yourself as well as possible. And this will, again, be obvious in your health habits. Because they say all they have to do is take a look at you and they can see your disciplines. So that's where you're going to want to shine this month in the love area. Okay, now the new moon is going to be on the 12th of October. And that's going to be in the sign of Libra. And that will cause situations in your love life, in your romantic life, in your friendships, in your family relationships to sort of take the spotlight off of trying to make everything so balanced and trying to make everything so fair and trying to make everything about what's legal and what's not legal. Although you don't want to really give in to doing things that are not legal. You want to stay within legal boundaries, but one doesn't have to be so picky, I suppose, when they're with their loved ones. But you have to make sure that, again, you're in the mores and stipulations of the bylaws of whatever group or place you are attending. You still have to pay attention to that, but the spotlight will be off of those types of fairness and what is legal type of issues. In other words, not so much focus and not so much of a spotlight on that. However, that doesn't mean that won't come up and bite you later, so pay attention to that. The full moon is going to be in Taurus, and that will be on the 27th. Of course, that is a day when you have a special affinity for what people have, because in the sign of Taurus, it's going to highlight romance with saying, I have this, or someone that it's in my family, or someone that I care about, or my spouse, or my significant other, whatever, has this possession, or has this home, or has this land, or has this business, that kind of thing, where people are going to say, how does a person look on paper? Because that will make someone feel either more or less secure when it comes to these sort of relationship issues. Okay, moving into the money aspect of Melchidael's transmission for you with your guardian angel Michael overseeing, the archangel of fire who rules over all the fire signs. We're going to have a focus this month in the money area, in the financial area, on finances that are basically people are going to just get more precise into the smaller details. They're going to look at smaller, more focused, more, smaller aspects, to pay attention to detail, because they say the devil is in the details, and indeed that is where the devil resides, is in the picky details. That's where people can find loopholes or find ways to get around things. So just be aware that that's what people are going to focus on. We're not telling you one way or the other, but we're just saying when it comes to your finances, you're going to want to pay attention to the details this month. And you're going to want to also remember that success comes through your relationships. It doesn't necessarily come in October through just counting numbers. It comes through the quality of your relationships. You will find that in your financial and business relationships in October, it will more be about the quality rather than the quantity of your relationships. And the finances and the success thereof will be a reflection of the quality of your relationships with your coworkers, your employers, your employees, with your people that you do business with, your customers, clients. Those kinds of things are going to be extremely important during the month of October. All right, Aries, now for Mechidel's health transmission. Basically, during October, people are going to be focusing on new types of remedies, new types of ultimate health elixirs, new types of potions and elixirs and medicines and all these various things that will give you the most energy and make you well and healthy and bring a new aspect and dimension to your health. So there might be new health regimens, new types of martial arts, these types of things. New diets. You're going to feel kind of feisty, Aries, this month. And you're going to have your third chakra enlivened. That's all of the digestive system, with the gallbladder and the liver. A lot of the very delicate types of organs that are sensitive. And you might find that if you're feeling like you're getting run down simply because you're overdoing, something that we personally utilize, and we're not telling anybody else to do this, you can check with your physicians, but personally we utilize sovereign silver to fight off infections, and that works very well. And we also utilize the tincture of golden seal, and that's a very helpful thing to utilize, as well as aloe vera for various types of fighting infections and healing. Golden seal tincture we use for fighting infection, and aloe to heal. That can be taken internally. There's many types of drinks that are made that are available in various health food stores where you can drink aloe vera mixtures. And again, that heals the stomach and various other parts of the throat. And it can be healing to the kidneys as well. Also, one can put that on to heal wounds as well. But again, check with your licensed physician. These are things we use personally. Okay, now we're going to get into the part of the transmission from Achidel and Michael, where we're going to go over a little planetary formula for you, so that you can see how we can sort of use these little formulas to figure things out, a little Rosicrucian Kabbalistic formula. On October the 17th, there is a Mars in Virgo conjunct Jupiter in Virgo. And what that will cause, this little equation, will cause an upsurge of striving for accuracy, to the point of microscopic hair splitting, and the outcome of this aspect with the added component of forcing the quest for precision upon others. Beware expecting of others that which you cannot do yourself. So if people are asking you, Aries, to be very precise, you have to make sure that the people asking you to be so precise are willing to be so precise themselves. So simply kind of a right back at you moment. If someone says something to you that seems unfair, just say right back at you. That type of thing, one needs to have courage during October, Aries, and that will sit well with you and everyone else. If you want to see some of the calculations for Eastern Daylight Time that we're utilizing and some of the other calculations for Greenwich Mean Time, you can check the description box, and that will guide you to our Psychic Astrology blog. And you can check that out, and you can see exactly what calculations we're using for the astrological correspondences. So just to go over a few of these planetary aspects and astrological facets we feel are important for you this month. Again, Mars is in Virgo. That affects your 6th house this month, Aries. And that's the discipline and the health regimens. And also, Aries, remember, although Uranus is not your ruling planet, but rather rules Aquarius, still, it is transiting retrograde through Aries. And that can cause sort of an all or nothing aspect to how you want to present yourself. You're either going to be your best or you're not going to do it at all, rather than be half-hearted about how you present yourself to others. And this will be true in all areas of your life. You'll find it especially affecting your love life. And of course, all other areas follow. Because first, it will affect your love life. Then, it will affect your money. And then finally, it will affect your health. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Aries. I'm Pastor Rosemary Astrology Angel, and join us again next month.